Hey there Internet, and welcome to episode 7 in Rue's Horror Corner. Last time we all got assimilated by John Carpenter's The Thing, and today we will talk about another monster movie, namely 2007's The Mist. And would you look at that, this is our first Stephen King movie. You may have heard of two other King flicks, The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, which were directed and adapted for the big screen by Frank Darabont. Why am I telling you this? Before helping kicking off the Walking Dead craze, Mr. Darabont adapted and directed The Mist. You could call this his King hat trick. I'm in high spirits. We got a movie devised by the master of horror himself, in addition to one of the men behind one of the best movies out there. But where will The Mist rank on my shitty to scary scale? Let's take a look at it to find out. The Mist opens with the introduction of our main character, the movie poster artist David Drayton. Ooh, would you look at that, it's the movie poster for The Thing. I swear, I didn't plan for this. David, his wife Stephanie and their son Bill are forced to spend the night in the basement as a storm is coming to the hometown of Bridgeton. If you guessed that Bridgeton is in Maine, then you're correct. This is a Stephen King story after all. Looks like David got lucky. His study window isn't the only victim of the storm though. What else is there?
What is it, Daddy?
Mist?
Well, that was a short movie.
Oh, you motherfucker! Cocksucker!
Meet Brent Norton, the Drayton's neighbor, who hitches a ride with Bill and David as they're going to town to get some stuff to fix up the broken window. It turns out that none of the phone lines and power lines are working in town, evident by the backed up lines at the supermarket.
Oh, what, no backup generator?
Only to keep the food cold, everything else, welcome to the dark ages and bring your checkbook.
Ah yes, that's always a good sign. If the haunting sirens around enough, a thick Silent Hill-like mist rolls into town too.
Something in the mist! Something in the mist!
Damn.
Cook John Lee!
Something seems fishy about this. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Well, get comfy everyone, it's time to meet some new characters. There is Ollie, the helpful assistant manager of the supermarket. There's Amanda, a teacher who just arrived in town. Here's sweet old Irene, a former teacher. And there's also Mrs. Carmody, a devout Christian.
If I can save a few, even one, then my life will have counted for something.
She's also a bitch.
The day I need a friend like you, I'll just have myself a little squat and shit one out.
Sweet, we got our first Stephen King stereotype, the religious nut. Now we only need uneducated alcoholic rednecks and we... Oh, would you look at that? There they are. Things start to get more interesting as David is checking on the market's backup generator.
Ow! 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 Bitch!
Was that an attempt at comedy? Whatever that was, it really spooked David, and he tries to warn the others about it. Let's see how this goes.
Norm! What the fuck? Ah, get it off! Get it off! Get this thing off me!
Ooh, my hentai sense is tingling. So, we got a mysterious mist blanketing an entire town, including scary tentacle monsters. There is a large group of people trapped inside the supermarket, together with a father and son trying to survive the ordeal to get back home. If this tickled your spooky sense and you want to see the rest of the movie yourself, pause this video here and return once you've done so. In case you just want to hear me talk about it, let's see how the rest of the flick plays out. Well, back on track. David tries to warn the other patrons about the things lurking in the mist, which isn't going great.
Look, I'm going to be taking down names, starting with you. And I am prepared to file a police report.
Fine, bud. Write down your names.
I will.
In the meantime, shut the fuck up and listen.
At this point, the people in the shop start to divide into 3 camps. The ones wanting to fortify and defend the shop, the ones following Mrs. Carmody, who believes this is the end times and God's wrath, and last but not least, the group led by Brent Norton, who wants to leave the shop to find help. Okay, forget what I said. It's only 2 camps now. It's finally time for some action. Come on, it's a lighter, not a freaking Rubik's Cube. And now this guy lights himself on fire? Is this a comedy? Thankfully, Ollie comes to the rescue. He's a good boy. Instead of thanking Ollie for the rescue, more and more people start to believe Mrs. Carmody and her fanatic ramblings. Because one of the bug monsters didn't kill her. Okay. The first concerns about her start to manifest.
Mrs. Carmody. She's our very own Jim Jones. I'd like to leave before people start drinking the Kool-Aid.
He's right.
This lady just checks out, and the Human Torch begs to be killed, leading to a small group deciding to head to the pharmacy next door.
If something happens to me, I want you to take care of Billy as best as you can. As long as you can.
Yeah, sure. But why say that in front of your already scared kid?
Are you guys being willfully dense?
The group scavenges some medical supplies and bump into a military policeman who we saw earlier in the movie.
It's our fault. It's all our fault.
Wait, what? Again, is this supposed to be funny?
That's Joe.
Yeah, Joe died of his burns while you were asleep.
Oh, so our friends here died for nothing? Cool. Back to what this guy said. Coincidentally, there are 3 army privates among them. I haven't mentioned them yet because they did exactly nothing so far. Well, except for this guy, Private Jessup. And you know, that didn't work out so great. God damn, again. Forget what I said, there's only 1 private left. Alright, let's see what this whole debacle is about.
How they thought that there were other dimensions, you know, other worlds all around us, and how they wanted to try and make a window ripped all open by accident. This other world came spilling through to ours.
Ooh, extra-dimensional aliens. Our 2nd Alien movie in a row. I swear, I did not plan this. Going full fanatic mode, the group stabs and sacrifices Private Jessup to the monsters lurking in the mist.
The beast will leave us alone tonight.
Finally having enough of this shit, David and his homies decide to slip out. But surprise surprise, it's time for another sacrifice. Ollie, you're the man. That was goddamn satisfying. No, not Ollie! He's the movie's bestest boy. Now down to 5 people, the group slowly makes their way back to David's house to check on his wife.
I told her I'd fix it. Front window.
Yeah, that was totally unforeseeable. Would you look at that? The tree smashing the window in the beginning wasn't only good for sending David and Billy to town, it also caused Stephanie's death. Talk about setup and payoff. Alas, it's time to talk about the ending of the movie. After getting a good look at the horrors lurking in the mist, and running out of gas, the group decides to check out. There's only one problem.
Gotcha. More.
Notice something here? You would think that Billy would start screaming like mad if his dad starts to kill people. But he didn't. So I think David killed him first. Which makes what comes next even more tragic. Yeah, just a minute after David killed his son and offered himself to the monsters, the mist clears and the military shows up to save the day. Damn, that's actually a shocking ending. Alright my friends, let's have a look at the stuff in the mist I liked and didn't like. Before I start, I have to confess something. I'm a huge Stephen King fan, but I will try to judge this as objectively as I can. Let's start with the story. At first glance, The Mist seems to be just another monster alien horror movie, trying to come up with excuses to throw its characters into situations where they have to fend off extra-dimensional meanies. At a second glance, that's kinda right. There isn't much monstering in this monster movie though. Well, at least no extra-dimensional monstering. The Mist focuses more on the situation's impact on the people trapped in the supermarket and how this doomsday-like scenario can bring out the worst in a person. If you saw my review of Ringu, you may remember that I had some issues with caring for the main character's kid in it. The Mist is a good example for how to make the audience care for someone. Bill isn't seen that much, but when he's on screen, he's crying, worrying about his mother, and fearing for his dad. This makes me give a damn about the character. And unlike most child actors in horror movies, Bill Drayton's actor, Nathan Gamble, does a pretty good job. Speaking of actors, yes, I'm aware of the fact that a lot of people in The Mist went on to star in Frank Darabont's other famous project, The Walking Dead. There you go, I brought it up. And most of those actors do a good job. But I have to give praise to Marcia Gay Harden and her portrayal of Miss Carmody. Isn't it great when an actor can make you hate a character?
As Abraham prepared to sacrifice his only son to prove his love for God, so...
The movie's kill and monsters look good, if you overlook the now outdated CG. The creatures instantly gave me H.P. Lovecraft chills. I don't mind that they are aliens from another dimension, that's pretty much a Stephen King trope by now. I would have liked it if the monsters had a little bit more screen time. On the other hand, their absence builds their mystique. On a somewhat related note, just look at this thing and tell me the Mist's novella didn't inspire Silent Hill. Well, you know, besides the obvious. To fanboy for just a second, besides this subtle hint at Mr. King, how awesome is that painting of Roland Deschain? Well, that's all of my positives. Let's move on to the stuff that irked me. One thing that did bum me out a little bit is the movie's characters. There is no progression or development. Take Mrs. Carmody for example. Right from the get-go we learn that she is a religious fanatic, with no wiggle room for doubt or discussion. We are told that she is one of the villains of this flick, and that's it. There's no attempt to humanize her or make you understand why she acts like she does. The same goes for every other character.
The next time you got something to say, you count your teeth. Because I'm sick to death of your bullshit.
We are told what they are, and that's how they act for the rest of the movie. Another thing that can be a little bit grating in this movie is its length. The Mist clocks in with a whopping 2 hours and 5 minutes. There are some scenes that go on for a little bit too long, or could have easily been left out. Surprisingly, that's all the negatives I have with this movie. So why don't we take a look at where The Mist ranks? I declare The Mist to be... spooky. Stephen King fans should definitely check this flick out. If you are a fan of monster movies, you may be disappointed by the lack of real monsters in it. But if you enjoy movies that tend more to psychological horror, you should give this a try. Well, let's see what movie comes up next. Oh no, that won't be fun at all. Alright, there's only one thing left to do. It's time for Ollie to join our friends Bugsy and Cuddles in the Hall of Bestest Boys and Girls.